It's Talking Reds on the big day of the big derby tonight. Anfield, Liverpool v Everton. Can't wait to get down there, get stuck in, beat them, knock them out the cup. Both managers, Craig, have done their press conferences. Both managers have said this is a huge game, that they will be playing their strongest teams. And Sam as well, surprisingly, has said that he doesn't want a replay and that he appreciates they can't sort of do what they did last time. So at least that's what he says in front of the cameras. But yeah. I mean, we will see on that. But I mean, it is good to hear the managers talking that way, because it is a big match, isn't it? I mean, you know, some people still have the conversation about how important the FA Cup is. But if you go back to last year, you know, we were playing Plymouth. It wasn't an exciting game. No. It wasn't something that got your blood up.
Nope.
Playing Everton, meanwhile, it's a huge game. It's Friday night, it's under the lights, it's on BBC One, all that sort of stuff. And this year, Gary Lineker will have no reason to have a go at Jürgen Klopp about the team he's going to pick, because he's going to pick the strongest team.
I think first of all, we all celebrated whenever the draw was made. A lot of the discussion around the last game against Everton was that Klopp had made some changes. That was almost the beginning of the rotation, you know, over November and December, and we did a little bit of complaining about that afterwards. But it'll be good that we know that Firmino, the likes of Mane, will be in the side hopefully tonight. There was even talk that Virgil van Dijk might feature. Jürgen Klopp didn't rule that out in the press conference. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But yeah, this game's massive, because you know, Liverpool exists to win trophies, and we've not won a trophy since 2012. That's far too long. And even still, that's what is it, one in the last 10 years? That's absolutely ridiculous. And that's the reason why players like Philip Coutinho are trying to get a move away, because we're not winning. We don't win trophies anymore.
Coutinho hasn't won anything while he's been here.
Exactly,
5 years.
Exactly. He's come close a few times, but that's not good enough. We won't remember those times in 10, 20 years whenever he looks back and you know, at his achievements as a footballer. So it's massive, and I you know, I don't like to hear anyone downplay this match, especially since it's a Merseyside derby, especially after what happened in the last Merseyside derby, the way Everton played, the way they got a result in a game which they really shouldn't have. And I want to put them to the sword tonight. I want it to be I basically want us to hammer them after the last game, quite frankly.
That'd be nice.
And I want everyone to be going into the stadium tonight absolutely buzzing, absolutely dying to get in there and shout and scream for Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be 8,000 Evertonians there in the Anfield Road end, because they get 15% of the ticket allocation for games in the FA Cup. So that will add to the atmosphere. So the Cop's got to be, you know, on its game tonight. So I think there'll be plenty of banners and flags, and the atmosphere should be good. Some other news around the game then, Cenk Tosun, if that's how you say his name, who Everton have signed for 27 million.
He could be made up.
From Besiktas. Everton are trying to rush through the paperwork to make him available for this game, and Big Gravy Sam says that this, for what is available at the price we are paying, is the best in Europe at the moment. I mean, that's quite the claim.
What's he paying?
27 million he's paying for him, and it's fair to say lots and lots of people have never heard of him. He hasn't kicked a ball for 3 weeks, this lad, because he's been on his Crimbo break, like other parts of Europe. Turkey have one of them. And Sam says he'll stick him on the bench if he can rush through that paperwork, that gravy-stained paperwork that he's going to lash on the fax machine to wherever it's got to go. Some stats, by the way, on this game, which I enjoyed earlier. Jed Ray, who's worth a follow on Twitter, he is the club statistician, and on LiverpoolFC.com, the official website this morning, they've thrown a few things up there. Apparently, should the Reds avoid defeat at Anfield, they will set a new club record of 16 consecutive matches unbeaten against Everton in all competitions. 16 matches where they haven't beat Liverpool. I mean, that's quite the record, that, and quite enjoyable. And no wonder they are a bunch of miserable bastards. Liverpool have also met Everton in the FA Cup more times than any other team. This will be the 18th FA Cup tie in which the Merseysiders have faced each other, with Liverpool coming out on top in 10 of those. There's only been 4 meetings at Anfield, though. It's ended in a draw every time. The last meeting between the sides in the FA Cup was, of course, in the at Wembley in the semi, when Big Andy Carroll, 87th minute, boom, see you later, go back to Wales, you've got beat again.
What time are you putting on their purple pyro coming out? It's the most Everton thing in the world that you see them.
Pyro,
they let their pyro off dead early, even when nothing's happened, because they're unsure that they will get to actually use it. They've smuggled it in. They don't know if they'll actually score to be able to use it. So
someone's been nicked for that, by the way. The last
3 years,
yeah, the last time that happened, and there has been a warning gone out there from the club about bringing it tonight. So, you know, just be careful and all that. By the way, as well, on the derby, if you've enjoyed our derby chat this week, we've done a video specifically about this game. Bruce Grobbelaar's on there, Roy Evans is on there, Steven Gerrard's on there, and Daniel Sturridge is on there. All of those people talking about the derby alongside the big stars, me and Gibbo. So yeah, that's on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. We posted it yesterday. If you missed that, go and give it a look. We'll be giving a bit of a push on Twitter today as well. Mo Salah is African Player of the Year. You've probably seen that. Interestingly though, him and Mane made the point of saying that they don't hate each other, that there's no mad rivalry, and so they've heard this talk that's been knocking around that, you know, they don't like each other, and that, you know, the reason Mane hasn't played as well is because he's got a cob on about Salah, which seems absolutely mad. They've both said it's mad, so can we stop having that particular thread of bullshit now, please?
It was even after the Sadio Mane goal against Burnley, where these people were asking, oh, why does he look so sad? Why is he not happy to have scored? Well, apparently he was actually unwell. He'd been unwell the day before and on the day of the game, so that sort of clears that up. But yeah, so, you know, it's nonsense, that, isn't it? That
seems fair enough. I mean, if you're shitting through the eye of a needle, you're not going to be happy, are you? Tickets. Wow. Tickets. We ran a ticket competition on yesterday's video. A loadie has had a go. We made the draw earlier. The winner of these 2 massive tickets for a massive game at Anfield tonight. Tea stain now as well, because I spilt my tea before. The printer's not working as well, but I'm keeping my head up. It's going to be, we're going to win. I'm not having a good day, but we're going to win later, aren't we? The winner of that was Luke Jones, and we've rang him, and he's on his way, and he's going to pick them up, and he's going to have a great night. He's going to watch the Reds win. Okay, Coutinho, it's still going, and I'm sorry, and people are complaining that we're talking about it. It's not our fault. If it's in the media, if everyone's talking about it, if it's the current topic of Liverpool conversation, then we're going to join in. That's the way it works.
I'm bored, you're bored.
I'm bored, yeah, we're all bored, but it's still going, and it appears Coutinho's going too. The Echo this morning has reported James Pearce, he's a trusted source, he's very close to the club, he's not going to make these things up. He said Coutinho has made it clear that he isn't prepared to wait any longer, and that his heart is set on an imminent transfer to the new camp. He's turned down improved terms, and the 25-year-old's agents believe that Barcelona president is about to make it all a reality by putting in an offer of around 140 million. That's in all the papers today as well. All the journalists that you should probably trust, like Paul Joyce as well in the Times, he's saying similar. So all that remains to be seen really is how this deal is constructed. It seems that Liverpool have knocked back deals last window, because there wasn't enough cash up front and all that sort of thing. But it does seem that if they offer 140 million and the majority is up front, Liverpool are going to say yeah, they're going to sell Coutinho, and that's a huge blow, isn't it?
It is. It's very huge. I wasn't really expecting that coming into this transfer window, and then just suddenly, the minute it hits first, it's all Coutinho talk, and it's really disappointing, because we'd taken one massive step forward in signing Virgil van Dijk, and now it seems like we've just had to take another step back and selling what has been our best player, and that's sickening, to be honest. It's annoying, because it looked as if we held all the cards. It didn't look as if there'd be a chance that Coutinho goes in this transfer window. We all knew that it was kind of inevitable that we'd have to wait until the summer and Coutinho would go, but for it to happen 5 months earlier, when we're in the last 16 of the Champions League, when we're looking good in the league with a chance of finishing second, that's a blow, and it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool's owners now will react to that in terms of who they bring in. 90 million for Lamar seems like a massive price tag. It's a lot of pressure.
Monaco said they're not selling as well, so that doesn't seem cut and dried as an option.
But I haven't seen too many alternatives as well. That's the thing. It feels as if there is going to be someone that does come in, and God, there has to be. You can't let go.
Boys, can't we just go down the road to Arsenal, put 30 million on the table and get Sanchez off them. Sam's shaking his head. We're not interested in your point of view, you Arsenal blade.
What I do want to see this time is I don't want to see what we did with the Suarez money, where we thought, well, because I've seen a few people on Twitter already say, well, use that money and get, you know, three really good players. Well, I don't want that. I want us to go out and sign one brilliant one or two brilliant ones, because
someone who can come into the side and contribute
right
straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the problem, isn't it? If you're stripping Coutinho out, you know, what's he got? Is it 12 goals? 12 goals, 9 assists, I think, this season for Coutinho.
It's even like,
if you're stripping that out the side, all of a sudden he's obviously a match winner. He's a proven match winner. He can cut it in the Premier League. And then if we're going for a young lad who's kicking around in the French league, who's 22, who hasn't played in the Premier League,
cup tied in the Champions League,
doesn't really feel like an adequate replacement right now.
That's the most frustrating thing for me in terms of the Coutinho thing, that I'm bang into us doing well in the European Cup, and I think we can do that. I think we can go far in it. I think we can beat Porto and then see who we get in the quarters, and we just lost our best player, and now it's likely that whoever we do bring in, if we're going to be bringing in someone of that ilk, they're going to have played in the Champions League. It's likely they're going to have played in the Champions League, and so they're going to be cup tied. That's one less player for us to field in that competition. So that's really, really disappointing. It'll be an interesting few weeks to see how Liverpool react to this and see
big
what
pressure
happens.
big pressure on Chamberlain, big pressure on Lallana for them to start to contribute. I would say. I mean, if you're looking internally for the answers to what's going on here. Next up, then we're going to have a look at today's paper. All right, then our daily look at the daily newspapers. A few things then where I haven't actually picked up these papers. These are just things that I found online. Ben Woodburn apparently is close to joining Sunderland on loan. They're the favourites over Leeds, who've also inquired about taking him on loan. I don't think that's any real surprise, is that he hasn't got any football at all.
I feel a little bit sorry for him, to be honest.
Yeah,
because,
I mean, he was knocking about. He seems to be knocking on the door. He was getting a bit of a go. He was always on the bench last season. This season, obviously, Liverpool, you know, have got a stronger squad and he's not had a sniff. But I mean, he remains highly rated. Obviously, the managers, you know, talk well about him. We just need some football, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's been one of the sort of casualties of us being knocked out of the League Cup so early. I think they probably planned to play him in each of them. They probably planned to play him in this game. He might do. It's likely he doesn't. But they might have been looking and thinking, well, this is the kind of player that'll play in the third round of the FA Cup, but then we get Everton and suddenly it becomes this massive fixture. So yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him, and I think you know, he's proved even at international level for for Wales what he can do, coming off the bench, scoring, assisting. So look, I think he'll do well in the Championship. I think even the step down in level from the Premier League, I don't see that as a problem. I think the fact that he's playing week in, week out in the Championship will do him really well. I think the fact that it's a little bit of a heavier league, it's a bit more aggressive. I think that'll be good for him as well.
He can cut that as well.
Yeah,
I don't think he's got any problems, you know, physically in terms of getting stuck in as well. I mean, mentioned a few times before that, you know, when me and John were out in Hong Kong in the summer and we got to watch the open training sessions, you know, Ben Woodburn was very much getting stuck in. He was, you know, was shouldering players off the ball. He was throwing tackles around. He's not, you know, he's not scared. He's not afraid. And the, you know, the cut and thrust of the Championship could well, you know, just add that a little bit more of that to his game, which is no bad thing. Also, conflicting reports on Emre Can this morning. Sky Sports, the culprits on this one. Sky in Italy claimed a deal with Juventus was done. Sky Sports then back home have reneged on that and said Liverpool are still hoping to persuade him to stay. So that's that one done. I mean, that's not cleared up whatsoever. It's just as was. His future remains up in the air. In the actual papers that I've got with me here, there's more on Mourinho, which has just been going on and on all week. What I liked about this, though, you know, he's saying it's garbage there, that you know, there's any chance that he's going to leave Manchester United. But what's funny is the way Dave McDonnell, who I actually had a pint with once and is a nice lad. I'm sure you're not asked about that. But Dave McDonnell, just liked the way he's wrote it up inside. basically he says his intro is, Jose Mourinho has dismissed the notion he's a modern-day Alan Partridge living a solitary and miserable existence in a charmless hotel. Partridge, the hapless local TV and radio anchorman created by Steve Coogan, was famously holed away in the Linton Travel Tavern, and so bored he once dismantled his Corby trouser press only to be unable to reassemble it. The idea of Mourinho like this in Salford's Lowry Hotel, absolutely brilliant. They've thrown a few pictures of Partridge in there. What Mourinho actually said was that if the fans want me to be comfortable, then this is the way that I feel comfortable. I'm very lazy. I like to arrive in the hotel and I don't want anyone to worry because I'm not living in a 2 square metre room. I'm in an apartment where I have all the comfort and support. It's like living in a house. If they are wondering if I am comfortable and happy, I am. If they want me to be in a house that I don't like, lonely, away from my assistants, then I would be a sad guy. And sad guys don't work well. Oh.
Yeah, you look like a sad guy, to say.
I mean, he never smiles, does he, these days? You don't see him smiling much. But yeah, I did enjoy well and Dave on the Partridge stuff. Also in this paper, there's some stuff with the Swansea manager chatting shit. Carlos Carvalhal, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, you've done it
something
right
like that.
Carvajal, isn't it?
Carvajal, sorry, I'm really bad at pronunciation. You've probably gathered that by now. But what I buzzed off was his quote. I like when managers do this because if you go to press conferences regularly, which I had to do once upon a time, they get really boring because it's the same questions, the same answers, and it's sort of like... So this fella's decided to spice things up a little bit. Swansea are obviously bottom of the league. It's not the greatest thing. And he's asked about whether he can buy any players. And he says, well, we have money for sardines, but I'm thinking lobster. And he says, I'll do my best to try to bring in the best players. I'll look to the lobsters and sea bass. But if not, we must buy sardines. Sometimes the sardines can win games. It's not a question of money, it's a question of opportunity and quality of the players. So yeah, bit of a sea theme there, which are quite enjoyed.
Imagine going into that dressing room and everyone's wondering, is he the lobster, or is he the sardines?
Am I a sardine? Is he sea bass? Are you lobster? I think I'm the lobster at the Anfield Wraps, you know what I mean? Just saying. Let us know what seafood you would compare. Fucking fish fingers, you like.
I like fish fingers. I'm alright with that.
Let us know what you think all the Anfield Wrap contributors, what sort of seafood they are.
Fish fingers.
Put them in the comments below. We might talk about it next week. Okay, last of all in the papers as well, I went Daily Mirror heavy today. I mean, the other stuff, let's just run through it quickly. The Guardian are talking about Coutinho. The Times are saying that Simeone could go to Chelsea if they sack Conte. The Mail are saying that Ross Barkley is going to Chelsea. That's been pretty much confirmed this morning elsewhere. So Legoed is going to play for Chelsea. And no one's particularly bothered, not even Evertonians, it seems. But no, the last one, where's the Mirror gone? Here it is. Okay, we've been meaning to talk about this all week. Oh, hang on. Some adverts fell out. I've got BT Sport now. What's this? Funeral plans? I'll tell you what, it feels like the world's telling me something today. Okay, so we've been meaning to talk about this all week. Where is it? Come on, I'll find it.
Is it who I think it is?
Don't spoil it. No spoilers. Come on. Can't find it.
Not everyone likes lobster, by the way, do they? They don't all like lobster.
I've never had it. There's not much lobster kicking around the night. I've got to be honest with you. Where's it gone? Honestly, where's it gone? I told you at the start I was having a nightmare today. The nightmare is continuing. You know how professional we are. If I can't find it this time around, I'm going to gibber. It's not here. It's just not here. And I folded the page in Everton. I'm going through Daily Mirror. The story was that John Barnes is in friggin' Big Brother. Here it is. There it is. Johnny Barnes, Liverpool legend, is in Big Brother. Words you never thought you would hear. And it appears as well that Barnesy is up for, as ever, perhaps maybe doing a bit of the original Anfield Wrap, with the R, not the W. where, you know, I'm maybe doing a bit of world in motion as well. It feels like he's had that thrown at him because he says, whenever I'm asked to do it, I will do it. My ego isn't such that I won't make a fool of myself or get dressed up. I am not a diva, says Barnesy. I mean, we were fortunate enough to do an event with Barnesy once, and he did do the Anfield rap in full, all the way through, in front of everyone. So it'd be good to see a rendition of that on Big Brother. So yeah, I mean, Big Brother, I think, died a death a long time ago, but it might be worth watching with Barnesy in it, mightn't it?
I was really confused reading about this because it sort of was on in the background the other night, and it was all women going in. They were talking about how it was going to be about bringing strong women into the house and just having them in it. And they're just sitting in Johnny Barnes, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, probably won't watch it still, to be honest. I'll leave that to you.
I love Johnny Barnes. Sorry for looking at me watching in the middle of a video, but we have now got to leg it to our studio and record The Gutter, which is an easy segue there into me talking about our podcast, which our boss. You all seem to be enjoying our transfer ones right now, particularly ones led by Rob Gutman. This is led by Rob Gutman. He will be going through all the latest transfer rumours, all the Coutinho talk again. So we've got a leg it. So, you know, let's just batter the Blues tonight, get in the ground early, make a good atmosphere, enjoy yourself, have a pint, see your mates, and let's hope when we're back on Monday, we're talking about a Reds win. We're still in the cup. Come on! That's been talking, Reds.